Yes! Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for video number 2! On your 2 for Monday, or now Tuesday if you're watching from another time zone, but if you're in the East Coast, a 2 for Monday, August the 11th, 2025, or for my people on the replay crew, it is now Tuesday, August the 12th, 2025. Thank you for watching video number 2, right here, once again, on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button in my pants down in the description box below. And don't forget to share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss the next one, you need to get slapped in the face. Because you, fat boy, are SOL. And you know what that means. If you don't know, look it up. And also, you can leave a comment on this video or any one of my past, present, and future videos, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments because you will get sent to the Shadow Realm where Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul and then feed the remains to the dog. Or dogs. But we'll see what happens with that. But don't leave stupid comments. You'll get blocked. If you don't like that, then go cry to somebody about it. Can't be respectful, then go to your dead channel that nobody gives two fucks about. Do your shit there, because you ain't gonna do it on mine. And that's that. And don't forget, like I said, don't forget to tap the bell and turn on all notifications. Don't miss anything. And that's pretty much it. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you like. Hit the bell and all that good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab some apple juice or whatever you're going to be drinking tonight. Or whenever you watch this video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, go fuck yourself. Yeah, pretty much go fuck yourself and suck my dick. And that's all I gotta say about that. You're gonna like me eventually. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody had a great Monday, the start of the second full week of August, as we get into the midpoint of August. Sun's going down pretty much around 8 o'clock, but dark around 8:15, 8:20, so a little bit more daylight, but that dark is coming way down pretty soon. By the time we hit September, not September, pretty much mid-October, we're going to be going, it's going to get dark around 6:30. And by the time we hit November, when we have to fall back an hour, it gets dark around 5, between 5 and 5:30. So we'll get that. But it'll go back up after January of the new year, so it's going way back up. And then when we turn the clock forward again in March, then daylight hours go up. So from 5:30 it gets to 6:30, to 7:30, 8:30, dark at 9 o'clock almost. So we got that. But we'll get there eventually. We're not there yet. We got a couple more months of actual good daylight before we turn the clock back an hour and we lose an hour of sleep. Actually, we gain an hour of sleep. Take that back. So for all you people that love to stay up like I do, you stay up for an extra hour. But it is what it is. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I hope you had a great Monday, and if not, well, too bad for you. And that's pretty much it. Alright, check out my first video of the day over on my Peter Joseph channel, talking about a little bit of wrestling news. The whole Killer Cross thing, where he's going to be named Killer Cross again, was carrying Cross in WWE, got, his contract expired, saying it was skirted Bordeaux. Just basically what they're going to be doing after, since they've been, it's pretty much day 2 of Killer Cross not being in WWE, and pretty much going back on the indie circuit for a little bit until unless they find more work in TNA or AEW, or to go to Japan. Who knows what they're gonna do? But we got that. It sucks. People still think it's a work. It could be a schwork. It could be a merc. I don't know what it is. But we'll have to, just to see what happens with Killer Cross and Scarlet as time goes on. We could get another, Ron Killings type thing with his contract expired, and then they didn't, they're like, oh, what's gonna happen with Ron Killings? And they were thinking of going to TNA, but that didn't happen because he came back like a couple days after he got released or his contract expired or whatever it may be. But I mean, we'll have to see what happens with Cross. He might be back at Clash in Paris. Who knows at this point? But check out the video. Link will be down below. It's down below in the gobbledygook. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's late. Getting close to late. It's late. It's late. But it's not late, but, it is what it is. But anyway, on this late Monday night, August the 11th, 2025, it is time for your late, so far out of fucking date, TNA and Ring of Honor reviews. For this past Thursday night, August the 7th, 2025. Alright. So, TNA Ring of Honor still rolling along. TNA, this episode was the pre-ultimate to ultimate go-home show. We got the go-home show before Emergence, which is this Friday night on the program. So, Thursday will be the official go-home show. But this was the pre-ultimate to ultimate go-home show. And, Ring of Honor still chugging along 2 weeks away from Death Before Dishonor, the next actual Ring of Honor full pay-per-view. And that's going to be after Forbidden Door on the 24th. So it kind of coincides with that. So we've got about 2 weeks, really, as of this video, 12 days away from Forbidden Door, and a little over 2 weeks away from Death Before Dishonor. So lots of things going on with Ring of Honor, with Forbidden Doors, some things that might be happening with Athena, but even though she's going for a AEW belt, the TBS title against Mercedes Moné. Take that back. She's going for the world title against Timeless Toni Storm. Bosom. Going for that. We'll see what happens with all that. We have Alex Windsor from Ring of Honor, who got into that Fatal 4-Way match to see who to fight Mercedes Moné for her TBS title. We don't know who's going to be the representative from Stardom or CMLL just yet. I guess we'll find out this week, most likely. And we do have some New Japan matches on the card. We got Hiroshi Tanahashi in probably his last Forbidden Door event, and probably one of his final matches, takes on the ever-popular TBD. We don't know who his opponent's going to be just yet. It could be Okada. It's not going to be Okada, I wish, but it's not going to be Okada, because Okada's taking on Swerve for the TNA Unified Belt. Not TNA, sorry. I keep saying, I'm getting the promotions wrong here. It's late. The AEW Unified title. See what happens with that. And Zack Sabre Jr. will be on this show to defend his newly regained IWGP World title against, there's supposed to be a Fatal 4-Way match. Nigel's in it. I forget who else is in it. But I would be surprised when we see Nigel Zack Sabre Jr., if you watched All In last year, not this year, last year, where they were in that the Casino Gauntlet match last year, Nigel and Zack Sabre Jr. put on a pretty much a technical wrestling clinic during that Casino Battle Royale match. It was great. So maybe there was some foreshadowing there, but I would love to see Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel pretty much in their hometowns go at it for the richest prize in New Japan history, which is the IWGP World Title. And speaking of New Japan, the finally, of the G1 this Sunday. Evil is in the semifinals again. Tsuji is in it. I think he's in one semifinal. I don't think he's taking on Evil, but I know he's in the semifinals. So I don't know who's gonna come out of the A and B block or whatever block is gonna be represented in the semifinals, but I have a good feeling that maybe Tsuji might come out of that and get his title shot if he holds on to it the rest of the year to face whoever the champion might be Zack Sabre Jr., could be somebody else at Wrestle Kingdom 19 coming up in January of 2026. So that's some good stuff. Good stuff coming your way. Also got Triple Mania this Saturday night at 9 o'clock. So pretty much nobody's going to watch Collision. Like maybe the first hour. But yeah, Triple Mania 33 in a tree begins at 9 p.m. on the WWE YouTube channel. So it'll be live on YouTube, so you don't have to pay an arm and a leg. So that's good. But we shall see what happens with all that. Dom is going for the AAA Mega Championship that El Hijo de Vikingo has. He's defending against Ludwig El Grande Hermanicano Spears. And I think Dragon Lee. I don't know why Dragon Lee's in it, but okay, we'll go with that. And a whole lot more at Triple Mania. And I don't know if I'm going to review it. I'll see, because actually it is this Saturday night, so that means I'm definitely not watching it. But I will probably watch the replay of it, maybe when I get home from Jersey on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. I might watch the highlights, but I'm not going to be, if Issa did a watch along, most likely not going to be in there, because I'd be rocking out with my cuckoo, within this moment on Saturday night in Jersey. Kick ass on Saturday. I am leaving Friday afternoon, so I will not be doing videos pretty much early Friday afternoon. Saturday I'll be in Comunicado pretty much a little bit in the morning. I might check a few things on YouTube, and then pretty much after 1 o'clock, pretty much from 1 to about 3 o'clock, I gotta do sound check, and then I have a little bit. I go out. I have time to go do eat lunch. Probably in catering within this moment's catering shit, or I just grab something in the hotel. Get pizza or something like that. It's me and the missus will go out to get a quick bite, and then come back with our VIP passes, and then after that we're just chilling. We're chilling like a villain, but not like Bob Krillin. Backstage at the show and everything. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna party. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. We're gonna just rock out with our cocks out and everything. Well, Rosa doesn't have a cock, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We're gonna rock until we can't rock no more. But then, pretty much after that, the show, I think, will probably end about 10, 11 o'clock. Might grab a late night snack somewhere like at one of the grocery stores in the mall, in the hotel. Grab a little bite, and then go up to our room. Probably we'd be like so fucking tired. Or like, you want to eat? Like, you want to grab something and eat, watch a movie, fuck, and then go to bed? Like, I don't know if I have energy to fuck after rocking out, you know? Shit. And Friday night, we're gonna party and boogie! And then we're gonna get the business done after that shit. We're gonna party, we're gonna drink it up, and then you know what happens when you drink it up. I don't have to tell you that, but that's gonna be pretty much my weekend. We're gonna party it up in the hotel. And then, you know, on Friday night, evening and Friday night, we're just not doing nothing. Playing the slots, hopefully winning some big money, but who knows. And that's that. Saturday, we wake up early, go to Continental breakfast, and then pretty much from there, we go to sound check. We go to sound check, we hang out with the bands and everything. Play some Isley Brothers tunes, and, who knows? I'll be talking with the guys, and Rose will be talking to Maria all fucking day. Nothing wrong with that, but, you know. I told her not to be weird. But knowing Rosa, she'll ask so many weird questions to Maria. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm gonna be around to hear those questions. I'll probably be with the guys. I'm like, oh. So, the new album, when is it coming out? Why are we kicking ass? You know? We'll probably be tuning. I have to tune. That's the only one thing I have to do. I have to tune the guitars. Gotta make sure they're actually in working condition. And then pretty much, you know, I tune them up. They start their sound check. I'm on the side of the stage. And then after sound check, go grab a bite, and then pretty much come back, you know, into the VIP area, and I'm on the side of the stage for the entire show. Because as long as the Blood Girls don't freaking flirt at me like they did back in 2015. They wanted me so bad in that cage. I'm like, come in the cage! Shit! Come inside the cage and we'll have our own wrestling match or some shit. I don't know. But that was a long time ago. But it should be a great concert on Saturday night in Jersey. It's going to be great. The final show of the Hell Hath No Fury tour. And then In This Moment goes, we'll take a little break. And then come back in September for the Dark Days tour. Which is most of September and most of October. I think it ends around Halloween. And then who knows if the album's going to come out by then. But the first single is already out, Heretic, with Kim Dracula on the track, and it's great. Good shit. So, I'm gifted, you're not. So I'm going to pat myself on the back, and I'm going to brag about it for days. Years, months, who knows. And I'll also brag about this. 2 million hits. So we get that. Alright, now about that boo funky. Alright, let me get this video because I want to get it out of the way. I want to go to sleep. I have the day off tomorrow. I can sleep in, stay up late if I wanted to, but want to do this video because I am a little bit tired, so I want to get this video done and shut up and cuddle with the missus and then go to sleep, and then I have a doctor appointment at in the early afternoon. So I'll try to get this video done, go to sleep, get up, have my breakfast, and then try to get the Collision review done. And then when I come back from I do have to run some errands after the doctor. I have to do some light shopping. So do that. Come home. And then probably before NXT goes on the air, we'll do Monday Night Raw, which wasn't that great tonight. Holy shit, it was like random, and it was like, Ending was like, And we got another big match for Clash in Paris, a world title match. With Seth freaking Rollins. Ho, 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 ho. Alright, but we'll talk about Raw tomorrow. But right now it's time for TNA and Ring of Honor. So let's go to the actual good show we all know and love. That's TNA Impact Wrestling for this past Thursday. And we are emanating, once again, from Kingston, Rhode Island, at the Thomas M. Ryan Center. We're still doing the Rhode Island, the Rhode Island tapings. I think we got the final taping this coming Thursday. And then we're somewhere after that. As we get closer and closer to the Philly tapings, where TNA will be in, I believe, in Philly. But we got that. And as always, our commentary team of Tom Phillips and Aiden English, otherwise known as Matthew Waywall. He's happy that Rusev was on the show because he could have said, Rusev Day! Every day should be Rusev Day. Every day. But it's not. Alright, so this show is pretty decent. We had a main event of, say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Taking on Mustafa Ali of Order 4. And, well, didn't work out well for Mr. Joe Hendry, but we'll get to that in a minute. Alright. Let's start the shindig with the opening recap and the opening sequence. And it wouldn't be TNA or Trick NA without this guy, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Booker T's favorite person in the whole wide world, Trick Willie! Shamon! Oh yeah, man! Oh yeah! What that Trick? What? Alright, so Trick Willie, who doesn't back down from no average troll. Dreams to be defended with Trick. Okay. Alright, so Trick Willie comes out. He's officially set to defend the belt against Moose at Emergence this Friday night. And all of Moose's bubble-headed family is going to be there. Damn. So Trick wants to talk about it. Let's talk about it. But then, guess who comes out? Moose! He comes out to interrupt. They go face to face, and Moose threatens to hit Trick with a spear, but Trick bails to the back, and pretty much that's it. Bing, bang, boom, good night. Now, is Moose gonna win? I doubt it. I have a feeling that something's gonna happen where Moose is about to win, and then Trick either pulls something out of his ass and beats Moose, or he gets some help from maybe like Flop Dollar and First Class. We'll see what happens with that. But if he does retain, I have a feeling he will finally lose the belt at Bound for Glory in October to who? Mike Santana. Most likely. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so that first segment I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Impact Wrestling. Alright, in the back, we have Gabby I think his name is Gabby the Spiza, or Spizo. I can't pronounce her last name. Anyway, she's there with an old friend of ours, that's Gia Miller, who was out of action after the hellacious attack she got at Slammiversary, thanks to the now, I don't know when she's coming back, Tessa Blanchard. So Gia's back, thankful for the help she received while she was gone, all the cards and letters and all the other stuff from the fans and wrestlers and everything. So she says, I'll take this. So she takes the mic. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. She gets right in front of the camera and says, Tessa, if you ever put your hands on me again, I will fucking kill you. I was like, shit! She means business. So if I were you, Tessa Blanchard, I would move them back to Mexico and hang out with your husband, Daga. I don't even know if they're still together. Who knows? You know, if they're still together, great. But, you know, with the whole Tessa Blanchard racist situation, if I'm Daga, I'm like, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to be, with no racist bitch wife. Shit. Anyway, move on with that. Alright, so she tells Tessa Blanchard, if you touch me again, I will fucking kill you. She probably will do it. And then, say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Alright, so Joe Hendry comes in, and basically tells Mustafa Ali will believe in him later on in the main event. So, we shall see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then the TNA Intercontinental Champion Steve Macklin was shown at a local soccer stadium. Why? Don't know. Maybe they're just promoting it. Maybe they're having an event there. I don't know. But we get that. And then we go to Mike Santana. He meets up with our good friend Sami Callihan. I think they were talking about something. And then the OG, Eric Young, and the rest of the Northern Armory, they come in to interrupt. EY says, I was running the place when Mike Santana was in high school many moons ago, and now it needs a cleansing. And then Santana's like, he glares at them, and then they go away. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm like, I saw a tag team match. Player was Teddy Long. Player. You know, we get that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, back to the action we go, because as always, a little less talk and a lot more action right here on TNA, as my ex Ashley Reed would say. And that's all I gotta say about that. You did not talk to her. She doesn't talk to white trash people. Just point that out. So, you failed. Moving on. Alright, then we go to, I think it's match number 3 on the program for the Intercontinental title. Steve Macklin defends against Jake something. That's his actual wrestling name, Jake something. Then we have the so-called king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian on commentary. This match didn't last that long, well, under 4 minutes. Macklin hammers away to start, gets a near fall off an early angle slam. Then he hits stereo clotheslines for a double down. Then they start getting up, they're on their knees, they start slugging it out on their knees. Jake something then gets sent to the outside for the Scud missile, by the way. Then he fights to the apron for a double countout. So, still, your reigning defending champion, Steve Macklin, but the match ends in a double countout. I hated that. I wanted an actual winner. So the match gets downgraded to 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, they're still fighting. They have to be held apart by security and referees. But Steve Macklin gives Jake something a running flippy DVD onto basically the entire security guards and then basically everybody else. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I guess we're going to find out with Santino, you son of a gun. You know, I have to hear from Santino about that. But still, a decent match. You know, but 4 minutes, you knew that was going to be a corny ending, so we move on. Alright, then we go to the power couple of Mance Warner and his hot wife, Stephanie DeLander, who I both met. They're great people. They can't find Santino. Wonder where Santino is. He's probably eating a chicken parm sandwich. I don't know. Or playing with his Cobra. I don't know. I don't know what Santino does these days. You son of a gun! Cobra! I can't do it like he does, but... He's a great Italian man. He actually talks like a normal human being, like I do, but he's playing an Italian guy. He's Italian. Go figure that one out. Giannacina! You know. Here goes Tricky Williams. Tricky Williams. Tricky Williams! You son of a gun! Alright, we get that. Moving on. Alright, so maybe they'll find Santino later in the show. Alright, then we go to Cedric Alexander. Says, I'm in the prime of my life, or my career, and I'm ready to win the X Division title, and possibly a date with destiny with the young man himself, Leon Slater. I would love and pay to see that. I think it'll be a banger, but we'll see. We move on with that. Alright, then we go back to the ring, and it's Knockouts Tag Team action. We got the ladies of the Knockouts division. We got Xia Brookside teaming up with Xia Li to form Xia Squared. They take on, well, pretty much the, I think they're the Knockouts Tag Team. Oh, wait, who won the Knockouts Tag Team titles? I thought there was the Elegance Twins. I forget. But anyway. So we have Ash. No, we have M. Oh, it's not for the tag team titles. I think it's, Ash and Heather have the tag team titles. So it's basically M and one half of the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. That's Heather, no free word rule, by the way. But in any case, so we have M and Heather by Elegance with Georgie Iceman at ringside. It was a decent match for 8 minutes. Alright, so it's also with the Elegance brand getting kicked down to start. Xia Brookside step up backsplash, nice, gets a near fall on M by Elegance. And then Xia Li sends M outside. We go to an early break, come right back. As always, during the break, the heels come back. Heather by Elegance, clothesline, gets a near fall on Xia Li. And then the brand hits its running boots in the corner. And then M comes in, but then Xia Li rolls over to get the hot tag to Xia Brookside to clean house. A code breaker cuts that off, but then Xia Li comes back with Thunderstruck! Fire! You know, good old AC/DC Thunderstruck! I can't even sing like that anymore. So it's just Thunderstruck. And then Xia Li picks M up for a very spinning TKO. I mean, woo! Tornado! Very spinning TKO and the win in a little over 8 minutes. So match was, 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. For the ladies. That's that. Alright, then, hey, we found Santino. So Santino and his hot daughter, former NXT ambassador, Ariana Grace. Cheerio, love. So they're in the back. They go into Santino's office, but something is not right in Denmark. Well, actually, they go to his office, and then they start hearing some weird stuff, and it's Mance Warner and Stephanie DeLander probably fucking in there. What are you guys doing in there? We're doing our taxes. I don't know. That was kind of funny. I like that segment. That was pretty funny. Alright, then Ash by Elegance. So Dana Brooke yells at the rest of the brand, basically Georgie Iceman, M, and Heather by Elegance for screwing up on my big night, because she's going to be taking on JC Jane for the TNA Knockouts title. And she says, I don't need to deal with this. Get out! And then basically tells them all to get out. So, not a good time to be in the Elegance brand. That's that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then it's time for an emergency edition of the First Class Penthouse with AJ Flopdala Francis, Casey Navarro, otherwise known as Pink, and Rick Swan, who actually, AJ's like, there's a big problem here. You're out of action with a torn ACL. Didn't he just come back and he tore his ACL? Come on. Come on, Casey, you gotta stop flippy-dippity doing. And stop hanging out with Dave. Grim too much. David! So anyway, AJ doesn't seem too worried about that. Brings out, he's like, alright, I got a replacement for you, Casey Navarro, and that's this guy, Rick Swan, who goes, oh, night long, oh, night, oh, night, oh, night long. Okay. I've been watching too much PWG, I'm sorry. If you follow PWG, and when Rick Swan was there, when it was like, God! Before him being a nutcase to a certain woman named Soo Young. I don't know that they're still together. If they are, a little bit worried about my girl Soo Young, who he does indie work now, so mostly stays home. But in any case, all right. So Rick Swan comes out as Casey Navarro's replacement, and basically, sorry, my hair is all messed up. That's okay. So basically, AJ Francis says, all right, Casey, you're out of action. You're fired. You're out of here. You're out of the group. So Rick Swan comes in. You're out. Rick Swan's in, which kind of makes sense as he was Rick Swan's replacement in the first place, because it was remember when First Class debuted way back when. It was AJ Francis and Rick Swan, and then Casey Navarro comes into the group because Rick Swan, I think he got hurt somehow or some shit. But anyway, so Casey Navarro is officially out of First Class. But that doesn't work for KC. He goes on a humongous rant. Not as great as my rants, but he goes on a big rant about, I've done everything for you, AJ. This is how you repay me. But AJ says, I've been carrying you for 9 months. You're like a baby, Like, hey, I've been carrying you in my fat belly. You eat my belly. So basically, it's like, Casey, I carried you for 9 months. Then he kicks the crutch away. Oh, so Casey has to limp off to end the segment. Well, that's a good heel move. So, we'll see what happens with that, but Casey Navarro, you go bye-bye. Bye-bye, you go bye-bye. Cookie! Yeah, basically, he got turned into a cookie by Majin Buu. Oh, we get that. Alright, that segment was pretty good. 3 out of 5 stars. And we move on. Alright, then it's time for the quickie match of the night. We have Shakara Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, otherwise known as her real name, Mara Sade. That's Sade now. I got it right this time. She's sucking my lollipop all night. Anyway, she takes on somebody I know. Vicious Vicky, former women's champion here in the Northeast Corridor. Very nicely. She was, she held the belt for almost like, I don't think it was a year. I think it was like a few months. And then she just lost the title a couple months ago to some chick from Puerto Rico. But, who's a nice lady too. But we move on with that. Anyway, so Mara Sade versus Vicious Vicky. And, well, didn't go Vicious Vicky's way. As, 2-minute match. 2 minutes! Mara Sade isn't having any of Vicky's wrist locking, basic wrist lock. Knocks her right down, then a flippy splash gets a near fall. As Mara Shelley's like, no, I'm not finished with her yet. And then she basically hits Finish Her, which is a butterfly gut buster. And just to win in basically under 2 minutes. Bing, bang, boom, good night. What's next? Well, what's next is... Ow. I hurt myself. Hold on. Ow. I hurt my rib cage. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. That's still a little... in there. Like, good thing it wasn't here. It was like here, so... So, calm myself down. Alright, after that, we got a look at Joe Hendry appearing on NXT last Tuesday, and getting a match set up with Mr. Eagle's son Charlie Dempsey, which is going to be tomorrow night. And then we see Maddie Winkowski appear to be a Hendry fan. We saw that last Tuesday when Joe Hendry came out of the refrigerator in the kitchen area, the kitchen/catering area. So, we'll see what happens with that, and we move on. Alright, in addition, on NXT, we saw Moose, Trick Willie, young OG Bouncy Javon Evans, and the big man, the NXT World Champion, Oba, who then begins with a fight with Dark State, and we got an 8-man tag team match on the program tomorrow night. Actually, be fun in the main event. That might be the main event. Sorry about that. Getting a little bit tired, so I'm trying to stay up, but... And plus this freaking thing, my freaking ribcage kind of fucked me up. We move on. I will finish this, and I will do it for you guys, because I love you guys. I love you guys like God behind guys. Alright, moving on. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we go to the Knockouts title match between JC Jane and Ash by Elegance with George the Iceman, the personal concierge. He's there. Alright, actually it lasted long. It lasted 2 minutes. Why? Well, they fought for, over a lockup. They go to the mat, then the corner with really nobody getting an advantage. Then they exchange fruit roll-ups for near falls until Ash powers JC down. And then the former Knockouts champion, Masha Slamovich, comes out, jumps Ash from behind, and that leads to disqualification, so Ash wins, no, JC Jane, I think, retains by DQ. I think she had to do that, but okay. So it was just under 2 minutes, so that happened. And then after the match, JC jumps Masha, and then the rest of Fatal Influence, Fallon Doko, Don Henley, and my girl Jasmine Nix. They come in for a beatdown. With the Elegance brand making the save. And then Zaya Brookside and Zaya Lee, the Zaya twins, or Zaya Squared, they come out to get their licks in. But then the Inspiration, or the Iconic, they come out. Cassie Lee and Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, they come in to get in on some action with Masha. So it seems like we're going to get a 6-person tag this week on the program, most likely, because where's Teddy Long when you need him? So we got the Zaya twins, well, not the twins, Zaya Squared, Zaya Lee, Zaya Brookside, teaming up with the Inspiration, or it could be, I don't know, what's going to be? It might be a tag team match, but anyway. So we got Zaya Lee, Zaya Brookside, and the Inspiration clearing the ring. So they just came in and saved Masha. So what they could do is maybe have 2 members of Fatal Influence and 2 members of the Elgis brand. Maybe they have an 8-person tag or a 6-person tag. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, so that whole match, I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars, and with the aftermath. That's that. Alright, then we go to the Teenage Tag Team Champions. We got the Hardy Boys. Broken Matt Hardy! Yes! Wonderful! Delete and Jeff Hardy, dude! Oh! Alright, we got the Hardy Boys talking about defending not just their TNA Tag Team titles, but also their legacies. Now we do know that at Bound for Glory, we're going to run it back to 2000, basically, with the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Ray Dudley and, well, Brother Devon and, Brother Ray and Brother Devon. Well, Bully Ray and Brother Devon, or Devon, and whatever. So, let's talk about that, and we move on. Alright, speaking of moving on. Alright, I have to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I know we're doing this not live, but right back. I'm okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that little dead air in the video. So Ugh. And yes, I did wash my hands. We move on. Alright, where were we? Alright, so before I had a drop of juice, if you know what I mean, the Hardy Boys talk about defending their titles and their legacies, pretty much, against the Dudley Boys. That's Bubba Ray Dudley and Brother Devon. Devon! What? Get the table! Pretty much. Alright, good that. That was pretty nice. Alright. Then, Santino Malata, you son of a gun! Santino comes out to announce more matches for Emergence. Oh wow, joy. First up, Steve Macklin and Jake Something will run their match they had earlier in the evening. They're gonna run it back in their basically a rematch. But this time, it's gonna be once again for the Intercontinental title, but not just any ordinary match. It's gonna be a no disqualification, no count out match. You know, this is gonna be brutal. And we'll see what happens with that. And then next on the card, we'll have Mike Santana taking on Sami Callihan. Now we know Sami said that if he does not win this match, he will most likely retire. I don't know about that. I think he said, if I can't beat Mike Santana, I shouldn't be wrestling anymore. Some shit like that. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. You know, Sami's been wrestling for a very long time, so. And I met the guy. He's a great guy. I have one of his shirts somewhere. Well, we got that. And the final match he announces is a fatal four-way match for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. So we had Ash and Heather by Elegance defending the belts against the Inspiration. That's Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, Zaya Squared, Zaya Brookside and Zaya Lee, and Fatal Influence, which probably, I would think it will be Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley, but then don't, gotta worry about what Jace's gonna be doing if she is on the card. If not, then probably be JC and Fallon teaming up. Maybe JC becomes a triple champion, because she does have the NXT Women's Championship. So, I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. But I think in reality, it's probably going to be Fallon and Jasmine, which is kind of like the weak part of the match. But, I mean, we'll see what happens with all that. Alright, so that's basically the three big matches. Three big matches announced by Santino. We already know that Moose is going to take on Trick Willie for the TNA World title. So, right there, 4 big matches already announced. So, might be 2 to maybe 3 more matches on the card for Emergence this Friday night on the program. I'll run down the card on when I do the review, probably late Thursday night. But we'll see what happens where we get to that point. And then, like I said, alright, so when I do the review, I will talk a little bit about, I'll probably put up a community post about the Emergence results. That'll be on this channel, the Kill Demons channel. So check out my community post this weekend for those results, or you just look them up yourself. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so once again, the matches announced by Santino. Steve Macklin defending the Intercontinental title against Jake Something in a no disqualification, no countout match. Mike Santana versus Sami Callihan, and a fatal 4-way match for those Knockouts Tag Team titles. We got Ash and Heather by Elegance defending against the Inspiration, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, Zaya Squared, Zaya Brookside and Zaya Lee, and 2 members of Fatal Influence. And we'll have to see what happens with that. So, but should be a pretty decent card for Emergence, and we'll talk about that over the weekend. That too. Alright, so you thought that Santino was done, but no. Before anything else happens, Santino wants the Nemeth brothers, Ryan and Dolph Ziggler, Nick. He's like, you guys get up to your lights now. And basically, Nick's like, hey, we're gonna get our tag team title shot back, right? Wrong. But after last week's attack on the hometown man, meaning Cody Deaner, unmasking him and shit, Santino's like, Nick, you are suspended for emergence. And Dolph's like, no! But on the other hand, Ryan, you're going to be in action, and you will take on Cody Deaner one-on-one at emergence. I'm like, come on. So Ryan's gonna have a match, and Dolph's probably gonna end up back doing something, or he can, maybe he can work on his parallel parking. I mean, remember, Nick Nemeth parked the hell out of Isa's car. Even though they were like scared for their lives. I'm like, come on now. Even before he parked the car. When Isa picked him up as their Uber driver. And then they listen to Bad Bunny, and Ryan's like, I can't believe what is this music? Or Dolph said that, I forget who it was, but that's funny. And in some ways, I'm kind of jealous there, Nick and Ryan. Just saying. If I had a hot chick like Isa picking me up in an Uber, I wouldn't want to leave. I'll give her a nice tip. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm joking. What am I? Move along. Alright, so anyway, so we got that. So Ryan's going to take on Cody Deaner one-on-one, and Dolph Ziggler is suspended until next week. After emergency, coming back. So as we go, after emergence, we're pretty much on the road to Bound for Glory, and we don't even know what the Nemeth brothers are going to be doing for Bound for Glory. That's that. Alright, then we go to your main event of Impact. We have Mustafa Ali with Order 4. They're there. Tasha Steelz, the Puerto Rican princess, and the Good Hands. We got Skylar and Hotch. And the big man, we don't know, I forgot his name. Big man, we just call him Big Man. So they come out, they take on Joe Hendry. We say his name and he appears. It was a pretty decent match. The fans were behind Joe for most of the match. Even as Ali backed him into the corner. Joe is back out with a simple wrist lock takeover. A few times to amp up Ali's frustration. Then a delayed suplex gives Joe and Evolve's commentary rapid fires through the emergence card. You could have waited till after the fucking match. Excuse me. My throat's killing me now. Alright, then Ali goes to the outside, go to break, come right back. Joe Hendry fires off some tiger uppercuts. Gets dropped with a pair of neck breakers for a near fall. Then we get a standing corkscrew moonsault missed by Ali. No water in the pool for you, sir. And Joe snaps off a DDT. Then the four-way slam. Drops Ali again. Then he does that pose. They go to the outside where Joe has to take out the great hands. The good hands, great hands. These are nice, strong hands, aren't they? If you've never heard that reference from the great movie Never Ending Story, you don't get that reference. Another timeless classic from the 80s. Alright, so you go back in, and the great hands are pulled inside, only to be clotheslined right back out by Joe Hendry. You're like, referee's like, I'll allow it. And then Ali has a rolling neck breaker. Goes for it, gets countered with a Dilmar Kata! Bang! Then the standing ovation connects, but then Tasha Steelz pulls out the referee. Shows him tatas or whatever, you know. Like, hey! And then, once again, the Great Hands hit their Samoan drop blockbuster combo. And then Ali misses a charge in the corner, which leads to Joe Hendry hitting a pop-up powerbomb, and an AA, somebody called Cena. This one AA for a near fall, only for Tasha Steelz to break up another standing ovation. And then Agent Zero, well, that's his wrestling name. Agent Zero comes in with a big old boot to Joe Hendry, and then Ali goes up top, hits the 450, 1, 2, 3 in under 15 minutes. Ali gets the win over Joe Hendry. And that's pretty much it. Match was actually pretty decent. 3 out of 5 stars. And was there no aftermath? That was it. The show was over. Alright, so Order 4 gets the win. And they celebrate over former TNA champion Joe Hendry. What it is. But overall, a pretty damn good show for TNA. And I give it a pretty standard 7 out of 10 stars. And, that's that. Alright, we're gonna go into, Ring of Honor in just a little bit as my, as my computer starts to, do its thing every time I do a video, it crashes. It's not Sprite, it's just apple juice. Get beer face. Alright, so we get that. And now we're gonna hopefully go to our Ring of Honor review for this past Thursday. Lots of good stuff there. I think we had a Fatal 4-Way match, or Bandito in action. I'm saying Mil Mascaras. Moscow Dorado was in action. And, that's that. And we shall move on with that. And, alright, hopefully now I can get my notes, if they would fucking load. Please load. Damn, I got choking. Alright, so, pretty much the main event was a proving ground match for the Ring of Honor World Title. Bandito taking on guy I met at GCW a couple weeks ago. That's El Gringo Loco. Alright, so, we move on. Alright, so, this was the official, I think this is the final show from the Chicago tapings. I hope. No, I don't want to see the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom or Medieval Times, Jack! Medieval Times! We got that. Alright, we got, as of last week, we got 4 shows left before Dishonor. Now we got 3 shows. And one match has already been announced, which was earlier this week on Twitter, and that's going to be Bandito defending the Ring of Honor title against Hechicero, which we pretty much knew since All In. And then we got that. Nothing else to talk about. But they're gonna need something to do with the tag team titles, the 6-man tag team titles, because Dustin Rhodes can't compete anymore because he's going for double knee replacement. He's gonna be out for at least a year. So I don't know if Sammy's gonna do double duty or what's gonna happen. Maybe Sammy defends him by himself and then loses it to who? Maybe the Gates of Agony. I don't know. And And then the 6-man tag team titles will probably go to LFI, that's Roosh and Company. But I guess we'll figure it out when we figure it out. Alright, so we start off with Bandito and El Gringo Loco in a non-title proving ground match. And if El Gringo Loco wins the match or survives the 10-minute time limit, he has a future title shot. Well, the match was pretty good, lots of flippy DVD doos. Match lasted 5.5 minutes. Getting to the end, a go to sleep by Bandito drops El Gringo Loco again. Excuse me. Bandito gets up. He gets caught with a super reverse Spanish fly. And the switchfoot moonsault missed for El Gringo Loco. And then Bandito gets up, hits the Eddie Guerrero frog splash essay. And Bandito gets the win. And that's pretty much it. Good match, 3 out of 5 stars. And Bandito keeps El Gringo Loco from gaining a title shot. Alright, move on. Alright, then after that, we run down the rest of the card for the evening. Okay, could have done that in the beginning of the show, but okay. Alright, after that, we get a video on Mystico Sin Cara. Why not? Alright, we get that. Alright, after that, we go to a Tony Khan special tag team match. We have Satnam Singh, the Jolly Green Giant, teaming up with Black Machismo. Ooh, yeah, get it. Jay Lethal as they take on GPA, no relation to CPA, from WrestleBro, and his partner, Hunter Holdcraft. I've heard of that guy. But anyway, 3-minute match. Did I say 3 minutes? Pretty much. And basically it was a squash match. Lethal did his thing. Satnam Singh comes in for those big chops of doom. And in the corner, chokeslams GPA over and over and over and over again. Stop, please, he's already dead. Then bounce him off the mat like a freaking basketball. It's crazy. Jay Lethal comes in, hits the, ooh, yeah, lethal injection. Drops Hunter Holdcraft, then Satnam Singh comes back in with the choke bomb on GPA, and they get the win. So, the remnants of the Jarrett clan get the win, and a pretty match. I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. I didn't care for it that much. Ho hum, and that's it. Alright, then we got Blake Christian, the Vanilla Midget, and his good buddy Lee Johnson. They're in the back, they want the tag team titles. Why not? Doesn't everybody want the tag team titles now that Dustin's hurt? So, they want the belts, and we look at some of their recent success. Not that it wasn't that much on Ring of Honor TV. But, we'll go with that anyway. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to our next match, another quickie match, a 2.5 minute bore fest. We had the Ring of Honor Forever Champion Athena teaming up with her minion. Not minion in training anymore, she's her minion now. And that's my girl Billy Starks as they take on Misa Kate and Laney Luck. Well, they needed a lot of luck in this match, because like I said, it lasted 2.5 minutes. So, Athena and Billy deck them at the start. And then Misa Kate gets caught in the wrong corner. And then he running forearm knocks her the fuck out. And then, Laney Luck tries her, no pun intended, luck against Billy Starks. Athena pulls Laney Luck off the top. And it's a swanton from Billy right into the Koji clutch from Athena. I wonder where she learned the Koji clutch from. Samoa Joe. But anyway, Athena makes Laney Luck tap out like a drunk woman, and they get the win. And then after the match, Athena keeps the hold on, and so the referee has to eventually break it up. So we got that boring match, 2 out of 5 stars. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, then we can look at Dustin Rhodes' knee injury from Collision the week before last, where Kyle Fletcher won the TNT title and then stabbed Dustin in the knee, busted up both of his knees. That's why they storyline written him off and shit like that, so he can get the double knee surgery. No word on the future of the tag team or the trios titles, so we don't even know yet. Tony Khan doesn't even know what to do either, so I'll get that. Moving on. Alright, then we go to six-man tag team action, my friends. We have some CMLL guys, Volador Jr., Magnus, not that Magnus, not Nick Aldis, and Rugido, taking on the Dark Order of the man who's not really evil, Evil Uno, Johnny Hungee, Johnny Wrestling, and Alex Reynolds. They're back in action. 6.5-minute match. Back and forth they went. I'm getting to the end. Magnus gets caught in the corner for a parade of running clotheslines from the Dark Order, but then the triple flipping slam gets broken up, but instead they hit a suplex into a top rope Macho-Man elbow. Yeah. Top rope elbow into La Magistral. And hey, these CMLL guys get the shocking win over the Dark Order as Volador Jr. pins Evil Uno in basically just under 6.5 minutes. So, a little bit of a shocking victory. I thought that the Dark Order would have this easily, but it's not. Alright, so the Luchadors get the win, and the match was actually pretty damn good. 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. So we might get a rematch next week, or maybe at Forbidden Door, and that's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, after that, we going back with QT Marshall Not. Marks Paul Walter House's career as an actor, and now Paul Walter Hauser is obsessed with him. This isn't Fantasyland, so next week, Paul Hauser can show up to watch his match, and then they can deal with their issues maybe after that. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we got a video on Máscara Dorada. Why not? And then we go to your main event of Ring of Honor TV for last week. We have Místico teaming up with Máscara Dorada to take on Lee Johnson and Blake Christian. Pretty good match. It lasted just about 10 minutes. Getting to the end, a basement forearm gives Lee Johnson a fall, but Máscara Dorada is up for the big hot tag to Místico, and everything goes crazy. The fans are going nuts. Even the announcers are going la la la. And then Místico comes in and beats the crap out of everybody. Super kick party, followed by everyone being planted to leave all 4 men down. Máscara Dorada hurricanrana's Christian to the floor and drops Lee Johnson, which leaves Místico to grab La Mística, I think, on Lee Johnson and made him tap out. So, alright, so the Luchadors get the win over Lee Johnson and former GCW World Champion Blake Christian. And that's pretty much it. Alright, that's pretty much it, and that ends Ring of Honor TV. So, both shows I thought were okay. TNA gets a solid 7 out of 10 stars. Ring of Honor, I give it 6.25 out of 10. But it's not what I think. It's what you great people think of the shows. If you did watch them, leave me a comment down below what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. We think's gonna win at not Forbidden Door. Sorry, y'all. It's late. I'm about to pass out. So we have. So let me know your thoughts about that. Who's going to any new matches for Death Before Dishonor, and then we'll see what happens with all that as we go into the end of this month. And that's that. All right, guys, I am out of here. Once again, 7 out of 10 stars for Impact, 6.25 out of 10 stars for Ring of Honor. And we'll see what happens this Thursday night on the programs, as we got the Go Home show for Emergence from TNA, and another great week of action on Ring of Honor TV. That's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'm about to pass out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, get some sleep, fuckers, and peace.